Thank you very much. Program Director, Mr. Peter Ndoro, members of the FP&M Seta board, the CEO, Ms. Felengende, employer and labor organization officials and representatives from higher education institutions and TVET colleges, FP&M Seta stakeholders, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Well, I feel humbled and honored to be part of this summit and to stand in the midst of all of you as critical stakeholders of the post-school education, training, and development system with a strong desire and passion, of course, to uplift skills development in the fiber processing and manufacturing sector and the country as a whole. Your summit today comes at a very crucial time when we seek to advance our transformation agenda through a process that we've already embarked upon of building an expanded, effective, and integrated post-school system that is captured well in our white paper for post-school education and training. This work is already finding expression in our 5-year strategic plan for the period 2015 to 2020, as well as in our annual performance plan for this year, and in the budget that we have presented to Parliament and subsequently to the National Council of Provinces. I must emphasize, Program Director, that the compilation of the strategic plan of our department was informed by not only specific imperatives expressed in the white paper, but also by priority areas for education and training in the National Development Plan, as well as those in the medium-term strategic framework, and particularly the MTSF, because it is a comprehensive plan for implementing the NDP and the commitments in the manifesto of the ruling party over the 5-year term, that is 2014 to 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, as the ruling party, we declared at our party national conference in 2012 that this phase shall be the second radical phase of the national democratic revolution. In our own post-school education and training sector, we must therefore be able to explain what we mean when we are saying we're entering a second radical phase of our transition. As experts in the fiber processing and manufacturing sectors, you should also be in a position to answer the question, what do we mean when we talk of the second radical phase, and what does it entail? Program Director, as we have just started the 2015-16 MTSF period, we've identified key focus and critical areas that we want to see the entire post-school education and training sector respond to, especially our Seta system, and these include the following. Maybe let's allow the learners to come in.
Should we welcome them and make them feel at home?
After all, this summit is about shaping their future. No, thank you very much. Well, I was just about to outline the key and critical areas that we have identified as a department, areas which we expect our post-school education and training sector to respond to. They are the following. 1, to sustainably expand access to education and training for youth and adults, regardless of whether they've completed school or not. 2, to improve the alignment between universities, TVET colleges, SETAs, the South African Qualifications Authority, and quality councils in an effort to improve student and learner mobility across institutions and qualifications. 3, we must expand availability of opportunities for workplace training for students in colleges and universities, and also expand other forms of workplace training such as learnerships and apprenticeships. 4, we must ensure that our post-school education and training system prioritizes funding for the marginalized so that they are enabled to access post-school institutions and thereby realize and fulfill their dreams. Lastly, we must integrate recognition of prior learning into the post-school education and training system. Colleagues, I'm raising these key critical areas because they will be guiding us for the next 5 years, and as a system, we should not be found wanting when we are confronted with the dire challenges that affect our youth in particular. The CEO briefed me this morning that the Fiber Processing and Manufacturing Seta is hosting this 2015 Skills Development Summit in partnership with the Cape Media Corporation. I have no doubt, therefore, that through the collective wisdom and contributions that each party will be making here will lead to positive collaborations and partnerships, especially in supporting skills development in the country, and that you will be able to own up to the resolutions that will be taken at this summit, to commit thereto and to support implementation of your own resolutions that will enhance skills training and development in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm certain that this summit is not just an ordinary event, but a special gathering and an ideal platform for various stakeholders to engage on key national priority issues which will immensely contribute to advancing skills development, create jobs, and ensure that our economy grows within a framework of inclusivity and socio-economic transformation, specifically in the fiber processing and manufacturing sectors in South Africa. As a department, we are leading the campaign to turn every workplace into a training space, and we hereby call all key strategic partners in the private and public sectors to open up spaces for the placement of TVET college graduates and graduates from universities, and especially universities of technology. And in pursuit of this, we have on our side established the Work Integrated Learning Unit in the department, call it WIL, to solely focus on engaging employers to provide spaces for graduate placements in order to ensure that our training and education system does not only train to increase numbers, to merely increase numbers, but that it responds to the real economic needs, and I think in that way we'll be able to deal decisively with the high rate of youth unemployment in our country. Of course, in order to achieve this, we'll have to rely on all our stakeholders to partner with us and commit to avail their workplaces and provide placement opportunities for our graduates. While SETAs are aggressively involved in supporting implementation of various learning programs within the provisions of the Skills Development Act and the implementation of the National Skills Development Strategy 3, we still expect the leadership of the Fiber Processing and Manufacturing Seta to aggressively engage with its constituent sector stakeholders to achieve all their sector targets. As you take part at this very important summit, I implore on you to unearth the scarce and critical skills needed by the sector, to reflect and articulately come up with brilliant ideas to advance skills development in the sector, to showcase some of your successful projects and share best practices with delegates, to honor our revolutionary call and make commitments to turn all workplaces in the fiber processing and manufacturing sectors into training spaces by availing work-integrated learning as well as placement of graduates within your respective industries. I also implore on you to come up with strategies which will speed up socio-economic transformation so as to address the past imbalances which continues to torment people. Lastly, you must be able to explore viable means to support the National Development Plan given the skills needs of the country. Program Director, there is to a large degree a common consensus on the nature of the challenges we face as a country. Thus, it makes sense to collectively engage and share wisdom on how we can address these challenges. As a result, I expect us not to allow this summit to be a problem generation podium, but rather a more solution-oriented platform. Through this summit, we must make dynamic reflections and come up with concrete solutions that will respond to the needs of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the month of August is a very exciting one for the Department of Higher Education and Training, because just next week, I will be leading a delegation of 21 young South Africans, 6 of them are females, under the banner of Well-Skilled South Africa, to participate in the International Olympics of Skills, namely the Well-Skills International Competitions, which competitions will take place in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The Well-Skilled South Africa initiative is one of government's flagship programs that the Department of Higher Education and Training is privileged to champion. This program is suitably located within my office, and it directly links to one of our key objectives as stated in the white paper for post-school education and training, that the main emphasis will be to build and develop an expanded, effective, and integrated post-school system so as to uplift the image of vocational skills and quality of vocationally skilled individuals. I know that the CEO and some of her board members will be joining us as we depart for South America next week. It is also exciting that this summit takes place at the beginning of Women's Month, and therefore it would be amiss of me to omit remembering the revolutionary contributions made by our women stalwarts and heroines who dared and fought tirelessly to pave the way for those of us in leadership today. Here I refer to stalwarts such as Lillian Ngoyi, Charlotte Maxeke, Bertha Qowa, Helen Joseph, Ruth First, and many others who fought a noble fight for the emancipation and empowerment of women in South Africa, whom I want all of us to follow in their footsteps. Those women took a militant stand against unjust laws and were torchbearers of a long struggle against patriarchy, racism, colonialism, and apartheid, specifically the oppression of women. They were striving for a country that respects and protects gender equality and human rights for all, in line with the values enshrined in our Constitution. Program Director, let me make this point emphatically clear once again, that in order for us to ensure a seamless post-school education and training system, the Department of Higher Education and Training will continue to promote the working relationships and structured interface between universities, colleges, the CSIRs, quality councils, and other stakeholders in the post-school education and training system so that they may interact with one another in producing the knowledge and skills on which our society and the economy at large will thrive. These relationships will also assist in ensuring that learners who have undergone training are also provided with places to practice what they have learned in order for them to easily get employment or to get employed. Therefore, in support of this summit, I am sure that by the end of your deliberations, a variety of issues will be covered and progressively discussed and consolidated so as to enhance our education and training policy position as guided by the notion of post-school education and training. Against a backdrop of unemployment, inequality, and poverty, we should not ignore the reality that the fiber processing and manufacturing sectors have the potential to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs for the benefit of our economy and for the benefit of our young people. Of course, this will happen if we commit to it. In this regard, I must applaud FP&M Seta for having recently conducted extensive surveys pertaining to work-integrated learning placements within organizations in the FP&M sector. And I have implored on all the exhibitors, because I see we have a number of learners here, high school learners, to explain thoroughly to the learners so that they understand. But not only to host learners during these exhibitions, to visit schools timeously, so that young people are enticed at an early age to enter into these science fields and technological fields that they are not exposed to. Well, my sincere thanks goes to all the stakeholder consultation efforts, my sincere thanks goes to the stakeholder consultation efforts done by the FP&M Seta CEO, Ms. Yende. Indeed, it is heartwarming to learn that organizations in the FP&M sector are now prepared to take up about 7,500 learners in the next 3 to 5 years. Now, Ms. Yende, I heard from the grapevine, and perhaps this is a good opportunity, that I congratulate you on receiving an award for most influential woman in business and government. Congratulations indeed. As I head towards the end, I want to thank all relevant stakeholders for subscribing to the call to make every workplace a training space. I also want to thank all of you present here for creating this platform, which seeks to discuss issues that I believe will assist to shape the form and shape of our economy. To the board, CEO, and executive management team of the FP&M Seta and Cape Media, I would like to extend my deepest appreciation for coordinating the summit, which I hope will contribute immensely to enriching our minds and keeping us abreast of where we are currently and where we must be if we want to bring about a radical change that will transform our economy. To all strategic partners and stakeholders who are doing all they can in assisting our youth to be employable and sustainable, let me take this opportunity to thank you for your contributions. And I must say, as much as I am in agreement that we have made tremendous strides in improving our people's lives, but the road ahead is still very steep. Your commitments and your zeal will forever be necessary for the realization of a successful post-school and education training system. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed.